Hello and welcome to a special Lifeboat Academy update session. It is December 11th and we are diving into our annual planning cycle. And so we're excited to talk about what we've been working on with that and all sorts of ways that you can get involved and contribute as we are planning 2024. So just to get started, if this is the first time that you are joining us, we are the Lifeboat Academy. We are developing a model of resilience and regeneration at the person, place, and community level. And what that means to us, what building a lifeboat means to us is developing your own personal place-based resilience network right where you are, starting where you are with what you have, and working with the people that you know and are connected with you in your community. And ultimately, we hope to link these lifeboats together into a network where we share the best of what we're learning, access to resources and information, and also just moral support as we are all figuring out how we navigate the turbulent waters we find ourselves in. And we like to get started by, first of all, acknowledging the land. We start with the land because the land was here before we were. The land will be here after we are gone. And we are only here as human beings, as creatures like this on this planet, because the land caused us to rise up this way. And in acknowledging the land, we also acknowledge the indigenous cultures of the world who have kept this wisdom alive and front and center at great cost to themselves. And we are deeply, deeply indebted and needful of this wisdom right now in this period of history. And so we acknowledge our debt of gratitude and the obligations that come with that to make right our relationships with First Nations communities and with the ways of being on the planet that Indigenous cultures remind us are healthier and saner and desperately needed right now. And so with that, I also tip my hat to the WSÁNEĆ, who are my nearest neighbors who hold the Indigenous this territory, who are the indigenous culture on this territory, who have been here since time immemorial. And I am grateful to be living and working on this territory and hope to make myself a welcomed guest at some point. And with that, we'll go once around. And what aspect of the Lifeboat Academy has your attention at the moment? Over to you, Galan.
Hello, my name is Roland Maurice, and what has my attention now is the interrelationship between all sorts of different elements that are coming together and are part of the Lifeboat Academy. Over to Ronnie.
Hi, my name is Ronnie, and I'm really curious about this yearly reflection and planning process, seeing as it's the end of the first full official year of the Lifeboat Academy as this entity, as well as my first full year with the Lifeboat Academy. So I'm curious to see how it will go and what interesting insights may be revealed in the process. Over to Ben.
Sorry, with the sharing my screen, I can't get to the mute button very easily. What am I most interested in at the moment? I am most interested in sharing the process with folks, and not just what we're going to come up with for the Lifeboat Academy, but I feel in my bones like this is just a very good habit for people to engage in, and I want to share the excitement and the kind of freedom that comes with treating life as an experiment and taking that seriously. So I'm excited to hopefully get other people excited. So, as we said, this is a little bit different from our normal update. We're going to be less about specific things that we've been doing in the last week or going to do in the next week, and instead are inviting you into our annual review and planning process. We are following the process as laid out in our articles of incorporation. And even though they're still just draft, we're still waiting for the critical mass of people to come on board so that we can launch the official legal entity. The process that we're going through is actually in our articles of incorporation. So this is the way we aim to do things. And it's all based on aim, act, reflect, and the idea of all plans are fractal and sort of nested within each other. And of course, one of the biggest planning timeframes that we use is the annual plan, which we then break into seasonal plans, which we then break into sprints, which are 1 to 2 week chunks of activity. And we have a lot to do in the review part, the reflection part, as laid out in the articles of incorporation. We want to review our progress against the plan that we've made last year and then look at how that evolved over the year. We want to document any social impact that we've had. As a B Corporation, we are committed to actually providing tangible material benefits to the world and the community that we serve. Also look at our financial information and so that we know where we stand there in the conventional economy, and conduct a decision-making audit to make sure that we're actually walking our talk when it comes to consent-based decisions and how we delegate authority. And then, of course, one of the biggest goals is to identify and document our lessons learned and actually figure out how we convert those lessons into how we function day to day. We want to update our current assets, and most of our assets are relational. So most of our assets are the people that and organizations that we are connected to and relating with. And then also think about how we organize ourselves internally so that we're making the best use of those assets. And then identify, based on the lessons learned and our current assets, where are some high priority areas for us to focus our attention? What are some strategic or operational improvements that we want to be making? And based on that and our eye towards social benefits that we're trying to create, how do we set some goals for the coming year, for 2024? And once we set those goals, then this is where it becomes an open invitation to anybody and everybody who might want to be project partners with us in the Lifeboat, on the Lifeboat Academy. And basically we create a request for proposals. For people who aren't familiar with that, is basically we say, here's what we're trying to accomplish, and here are some of the tools that we have available, some of the resources that we have available, and some of our challenges. How would you go about getting this done? What would you do to actually accomplish this goal? And part of how we work is we recognize that we're all smarter when we work together and when we pool our knowledge and our perspectives. So we know that if we put it out there, people are going to come up with a lot of good ideas. And so we put out the request for proposals, and then in our annual planning session, which is if you've been involved with us for a year or more, you remember last January, we had a charrette here at Spalding Valley Farm, and we'll do the same thing again this year. We hope, if we can pull together the resources. And at that session, basically, we get a chance to review and refine the proposals. So there will already have been a lot of groundwork done, a lot of, we'll have base information that we can be working with, and we'll have some really good proposals already developed. And then we get to come together and figure out which of the proposals do we put together for our plan for the year, which of them have the highest return on effort, where, given the resources and the capacity we currently have, we think will have the biggest positive impact. So another way of saying that is, what's the 20 that gets us 80, and where do we want to shine the light and put our efforts for biggest bang for the buck, or whatever other phrase you want to put in there. and then create an annual financial plan so that we can make sure that we can keep the lights on as we move forward. And as part of the planning process, the core team we've been meeting quite regularly and come up with a lot of good stuff. One of the first things is we wanted to make sure that we were clear on why we were going through this process and what we were hoping to accomplish as a result of it. So we have some clear goals for what we're hoping to get out of it. One is a sense of progress, and we know a lot has happened in the last year, and a lot of things have developed. And sometimes so much has happened that it's hard to actually, get a real bearing on it. So just looking at how we're doing, where we are now. We also want to make sure that we engage as many people as possible in the process. We really are looking at this primarily as an opportunity to deepen our relationships with hopefully with some of you who are watching this right now, and many others, and create more opportunities for more circle time and the magic of being together in circle, giving everyone a sense of fun, belonging, and purpose for being involved in the activity, and making sure that our technical experience, we're planning on everything being done in a hybrid way. So we want to make sure that there are lots of technologically available channels for people who are at a distance, and make sure that those channels work well. And ultimately, really, we want to come out of this with a clear sense of purpose and a plan for how we're going to move forward. A better understanding of the compass, and Roland's going to talk about the compass next, but basically an understanding of how all of the intersecting circles on the Venn diagram fit, because there's a lot of different parts to what we're working on, and they all relate to each other. And we want to get more people engaged in the project. We'd like to bring more people onto the core team, have more active circles we'd like to have circles that are more active, and we'd like to have more circles that are active, and we'd like to have more people active in the circles. So more active circles all the way around. And we also hope to give people the opportunity to make some declarations about what part of the lifeboat, of their lifeboat, and of the Lifeboat Academy they want to work on and they want to connect with. And we also hope that we can generate some more conversation out there about what the Lifeboat Academy is doing in the network and how people can get involved. And of course, we're also hoping to secure all our financial commitments, not necessarily sell all the shares, but get final commitments for social mortgages and shares and combinations that will create a solid foundation for us moving forward. So those are our goals, and over to Roland to talk about one of them, and the understanding the compass.
So this graphic has gone through a number of different versions. This is our current best bet, and it's meant to represent how there are many different elements to building resilience and regeneration. So this is why resilience and regeneration is at the very center of the compass. And it's interesting just to be able to use also as a device to look at, okay, why is reconciliation between land stewardship and reclaiming the commons? What does that mean? And this is also part of the process that we've been going through in developing it, is to ask ourselves questions about where there are connections. One of the challenges, of course, is that all of these things aren't easily represented two-dimensionally. So they are all together in the compass, because regardless of where they are connected in some way. So we hope that this is a useful tool first for us to help us understand the complexity of addressing where we are socially and materially at this point in human history, and also as a way of communicating with others and developing more exchange and dialogue around what's really needed for resilience and regeneration. So that's my interpretation. You can see, I'll go over just in case on some people's screens, this might be quite small. So I'll just go over what's on the compass. The very center is resilience and regeneration, and then there are 4 main circles that are reclaiming the commons, peer-to-peer collaboration, food sovereignty, and land stewardship. And then we start to go into overlaps of cooperation and sociocracy, practical skills, regenerative agriculture, and reconciliation. And then even more nested is transitions economics, shared learning, basic needs, and access to land. And we will be posting this soon. And so you would have access to it on our upcoming website, which is hopefully coming soon, on our social media pages as well. So it will be available to the public. And that's pretty much it. Over to Ronnie.
So through this seasonal review and planning process, we are really wanting folks to feel welcome to be involved in everything that we're doing. Some of our values and principles are being as open and inclusive and transparent as possible. So that's part of why we do these weekly updates, is so folks can know what's going on every week and how they might be able to participate. And throughout this process, we really welcome all levels of engagement. So there are going to be some folks who maybe have been working more closely with us, who are really eager to get their hands dirty and, write proposals and things like that, maybe join the core team. And there's other people out there who might want to just sit in on a few sessions and listen and see, what is this all about? What are we really doing? What is the process we're using? How do we communicate? All those sorts of things. And then anything in between. So please feel free to reach out, even if you're only a little bit interested. And we'll be reaching out to folks as well. We're going to be continuing to send out emails and posting on social media and letting you all know what are the different sessions we're doing, what's going on, how you might be able to participate. And we really, we encourage and hope that people will share what we're sharing out with your networks. If you know anyone who might be interested in getting involved with what we're doing. And like I said, please feel free to reach out to us if you are interested in any of this or all of it. We're always happy to hear from you. And the ways that you can reach out to us are through our email address, friends@lifeboat.academy. We have a landing page at lifeboat.academy, which will very soon be our brand new website. We have a help desk at lifeboatacademy.freshdesk.com with lots of different FAQs, both in article form, but also in video form, as well as different resources, both sort of practical, emergency prep kind of resources, but also resources for organizing yourself and your people. And we also have all of the social media accounts that matter. So Facebook, TikTok, Mastodon, YouTube, Instagram. You can just find us by searching Lifeboat Academy.
Well, and I think that brings us to the end of our update. And yeah, feel free to contact us if you have any questions, if you'd like to get involved. And we also will be reaching out to you. Some of you will be reaching out to everyone sort of generally, but then we'll also be tapping certain people on the shoulder and seeing if there's some specific ways that we might be able to engage you in the process. So looking forward to that over the next couple of months. I think with that, we're pretty much good to go. One last round to give everyone a chance to say final thoughts for the good of the cause. Over to you, Roland.
We are entering holiday season, so this hopefully will be the first of many wishes for happy holidays. Over to Ronnie.
That's pretty much what I was going to say. And we'll be in touch. Over to Ben.
Great. And I think, yeah, I want to underscore that that's also part of why we do this planning at this time of the year, is it's a good time to sort of hibernate and reflect on things and take a step back from the everyday hurly-burly and think big thoughts. So hopefully you all have a chance to hibernate over the next month or so and think big thoughts. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.